Hi, everybody. We are going to start our final project. Very excited about this project because it is really an intense piece of work that is not only pulling in all the academics from this semester of what we read and what we discussed, and all the reflections we did about our own personal growth and development. We also, we still got a month in, not even, to go over art from where we are, adolescents to adult to senior art. So we still got a little bit of the journey to go. But I'm giving you the project now so that you have a good ample time to collect, to glean and grab art that you might have made throughout your lifetime, and also to just really think, because this could be a master project that is part of your capstone, which at the end of, when you're graduating, you get to show your work for your master's. And it also is something to highlight in your professional career as an artist, as a thinker, creator, as well as an educator. So it might be something that helps you get a job. It might help you get a big grant for a mural in a community or at a school. So I have such faith in this project, and I know from watching my students do it over the semesters, it's pretty awesome. And I hope you take it to that level of awesome. I'm going to go over this. Right here, I got my notes here of what I've handed out for years. It's the original printout, and you'll see I blacked out some stuff. But basically, I'm going through, kind of throwing a big canvas out for you. You are going to think about the projects we did in the beginning of the semester. The first thing I had you do is look back in time of when you went, oh, I made that mark, or I made that. I'm a creator. I'm an artist, and who was there and what you looked like, and they were phenomenal. Then we had the next week where you had to map out actual crayons, markers, whatever, your artistic journey. I'm still on a journey, and I'm finishing hopefully my doctorate now. I'm still an art maker. I just bought more art supplies. I'm constantly growing, and so the journey, it doesn't end. We have I've told this story before, but it's such a great story. I had a student who was 102 years old, and I introduced watercolor at a senior center, and she was splashing, and I was like, lots of water, lots of puddles. And she said, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do this the rest of my life. Her name was Sadie, and she stopped life as it was and just became this painter, and we had a gallery exhibition. She had her work. In the same day I worked with her watercolors, I went to Adelphi, and I did the same project with my master's students in artistic development, asking them to splash and mix and watch the colors. And what I learned was that my students wanted to make a perfect picture and do a tree and make it look realistic. And the playfulness of Sadie at 102 was phenomenal. And I want us to really look at our journey with the materials we've been exposed to, the limitations, the possibilities, what we tried and we hated, what we tried and we fell in love with. And you're going to make that timeline throughout your life. You're going to pick and choose what parts, what elements, what materials, what phases in your artistic development you want to include in your story. And then you have the big choice as a presenter, as an artist, to decide your format. I've had people make iMovies. I've had people do slideshows where they were talking over it with music. I've had people do really big, beautiful books with photos of their artwork and embedded in with stories and poetries. And they made for weeks, worked on this piece of artwork that was an actual artist book. want to do it? Go for it. Imagine having that at the end of this class for your journey as an artist. I always tell the story with this one. There was a student I had years ago, and he was in this class, and he went home and said, "Ma, I have been given a project, and I need to collect my artwork. You got any of my artwork, Ma?" And just so happens that the parents were cleaning the house and switching guest rooms and whatever. And the mother pulled out this treasure trove of all different artwork from this particular student. And he was able to take all this and he put it in a big, beautiful box. And he did a performance of, I remember I made this and I was insecure in a junior high and I was getting bullied and I made this and I did this and I did this and ba-da-da-da. Well, my dear student ended up passing away 2 years later. He had cancer. And that project, that box, that storyline became his artifacts of life for his life celebration. And staff was invited from the college and friends. And it was this project that actually pulled all that together, had a thread embedded in it, what all those pieces meant. What was that story about? What that piece was? Did it feel like success? Did it feel like failure? Include the good and the bad. You get to make your story now. Again, you can do it in Prezi, iMovie, slideshow, anything. You are not going to use AI. That's not what this is about. You save that for another time when you need that artificial intelligence. Right now, I'm going to count on you and your brilliance and your creativity and your story. So I'm going to give this to you this week. You don't have to start rushing into it. Incubate your ideas. Start collecting. Some people had to go drive 3 hours to go get a painting from their senior show in high school at their aunt's house. Take the time to collect and look and make this story. How far back do you go? As far as you want. If you have those sketches somebody saved of your stick figures, you want to include that, great. Are you going to just do talkovers? You can. If you do images and photograph them or include the real images, that's up to you. You can use text. Can you use poetry? Absolutely. But one thing I want you to think of is, what were you learning at that time? What was the point of development? And I'm just going to read a couple things here. I know this is a long video, but this is your final project. So you're going to tell us, we're the audience, who you are as a creator and thinker, your explorations, your experiences, and the process of making these things. It really could be a dandelion crown that you made with your grandmother and you still make them. Just think outside the box. Don't just look at things that are framed that you made in a class that got into the gallery, okay? Make it span across your lifetime. Give it depth and really think about what you were focusing on and experiencing at that time, negatively and positively. This is your handout. You will be getting this. Use images that tell your narrative, photos, original work, sketches. Go to your old notebooks. Go to your old sketchbooks. I love when people are photographing their junior high doodles. Is that part of your development? Absolutely. Absolutely. Incorporate that stuff. Sketches, rough drawings. I happen to have a sketchbook I got at a yard sale. It's the original MTV that some guy in my neighborhood designed for MTV, and his father was selling all this stuff because he went off to college, and I bought the book. He goes, yeah, my son developed the MTV logo. That's his big thing. And in there were block letters of him playing with letters and M's and N's and stuff. And I'm like, here it is. So sketchbooks from high school, whatever, doodles. Who are the people involved? I want you to tell me the influences. Could be parents, grandparents, neighbors, an artist on TV. Somebody did, what's his name? We'll be learning about him. To the trees. All kinds of influences. What influence? Maybe it was a teen magazine. Maybe it was going to the Met and seeing Van Gogh and your jaw dropped and like, I'm going to paint. I want to paint. What's luscious to you? Tell me about the influences, the places that were inspirational to you. The personal struggles that you might have been going through that art pulled you forward or protected you or helped you make sense. Talk about those things if you feel comfortable. And how did the artwork, how was it received by others? Were you applauded? Maybe it was shoved under the bed. Maybe somebody, thanks. I don't know. If that's part of your story, include that. All right, so we're going to have Zoom presentations. If you're not attending, I really encourage people to try to get feedback in these group Zooms. Try your really hardest. I'll post probably next week some of the potential times so you can mark your calendar in advance. If you cannot attend, then you're going to have to make a video for me, okay? Which is not the same. It's not the same. All right, make this count. Make this count. I want at the end for you to go, wow, that's me. I never saw it in a trajectory. That's me. That's how I ended up here. I love it. So go back into week 1 and 2, the different projects, you're mapping, you're writing about your first reflection. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I apologize, this was a long video, but then again, you are creating a masterpiece and incubation time is very important. And I'm trying to launch your imagination and your possibilities. Again, I'm available, ask questions, have fun with this, but also get intense with it and then share what's comfortable. Go kick some butt. I want to see it. Get it.